Good morning. On this tough morning, many of our fellow, possibly friends and family, but definitely human beings, have been through a terrible tragedy in the last 12 hours where somebody rammed into a group of people. 10 people, unfortunately, were killed, and 15 people are injured and struggling and a lot of pain. Many families have been destroyed, have now been given a dose of enormous pain that's going to take them years and years to overcome and deal with. So we got up this morning. Maybe we plan to go to work today. Maybe we plan to celebrate a birthday party today. Maybe whatever else is going on in our lives. Is it okay for us today to move on with our lives? Just to make believe that this didn't happen, that's just a couple of hours away, or possibly you live in those cities. Is it okay for you to pick yourself up and just go on with life and make believe nothing happened? Is it okay to be happy today? Is it okay to celebrate any occasion today? Is it okay to smile today? Which is one question. How do we deal with it? Question number 2 is, could this happen in my backyard? Do I need to now be afraid and concerned that this can happen to me and avoid streets and public places, or just constantly walk around in a sense of stress and worry and concern? Let's talk about 2 skills that you need in order to be able to live and navigate this tough morning so you can move on and do what you need to do to be able to move towards the life that you deserve. So dealing with the first situation, there's an important concept that you need to understand, and that's called a dialectic. Now, first you got to take a couple of minutes and feel and have your thoughts and prayers with these people to stay human and acknowledge that a terrible thing happened. And pray for the people and feel for the people who are in this pain. But beyond, once you did that, you need to recognize that there's a concept called a dialectic, meaning to say there's 2 sides to every coin. At any given time in the world, there are people suffering. And at any given time in the world, there are people that are celebrating. In our own lives, every unique part of our life has a good part and has a bad part. Some of the people who did the most for us in the world, in our lives, are our parents. But then also many would say that those are the people that cause us the most distress and the problems that we deal with in our lives. Some of the people that give us the most joy in life are our children. But some of the people that cause us the most pain in our life are our children. Some would say that the people that we rely on the most and give us the most support are our siblings. The same people will say that some of the most stress in their life are caused by their siblings. The town you live in has beautiful attributes. The town that you live in has a lot of negative attributes. The person you love has a lot of positive things about them. The person you love has a lot of negative things about them. The world's a dialectic, and it always exists, whether you're aware of it or you're not aware of it. This morning, the volume turned up on the negative part. But the world always carries a lot of risk, carries a lot of pain, carries a lot of beauty, and carries a lot of joy. And it's our job to be able to realize that it always exists in our lives at the same time simultaneously, and we have to be able to tolerate it and be able to live with it at the same time. And any time we celebrate, there's some pain going on somewhere in the world, possibly in our lives also. So, meaning to say, in my personal life, even though I'm going through a personal struggle right now that's difficult for me, I need to be able to table it and put it on the side to be able to then enjoy the joyful parts that are going on in my life. In a marriage, even though there's some unresolved argument or problem going on, we still have to have the capability and ability to table it. And those are the people that have successful marriages and enjoy life in between meeting those painful moments. So when we're talking about a morning like today, of course we have to be able to fully engage in the pain. So we stay human and we live and respect other people's pain, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. But then we have to have the capability to table it and then take on our lives and move on for a different period of the day And if should it come up, we then put it back on the table for a couple of seconds and live with it. And then we have to then move it aside to be able to then move on and live our lives. So it's the ability not of throwing it away, but recognizing that we have to have the skill and capability to table a problem. So anytime we're having a good time, there's something else going on that's painful, but we have to have the capability to table it. Now, as far as how we deal with the fear in our life, do we have to be concerned and afraid? We really could use the same skill and understand that there is always risk and there's always danger, whether it's to our health, whether it's to our loved ones, whether something bad can happen. But we can't sit and worry about it all the time. So every once in a while, we could sit down and evaluate if we're acting safely, if our behaviors are okay, if there's anything we could do to be able to deal with it. We deal with it and then we move on with our lives. So in a practical way, how to apply it would be something called, let's say, worry time, where you pick 15 or 20 minutes or a half hour at night, where that's when you deal with what you're concerned about. But you don't deal with it a whole day. During the day, you live with it. But there is this reality, there's this other side of the coin that needs to be dealt with. So if you have a concern during the day, or you have a worry during the day, or you have a pain during the day, or something that you want to deal with emotionally or physically, you can't sit and think about it all day, or else you're not going to have a good quality of life. So you need to write it down or make a mental note. Writing it down is usually better, so you get it out of your mind, and you table it for tonight when you worry. So let's say between 9 and 9:30, you take out your worries, you sit and think about it, you evaluate them, and you decide if there's anything you could do in the next 24 hours to deal with them. And if you can't, you just wait and you put it away for the next worry time session. And if you could do something about it, you implement it. But you don't sit, chew it over and think about it, or push it out of your mind as if it doesn't exist, but you do push it and table it. So this morning, after you spend a couple of moments contemplating and your thoughts and prayers being with these people, you have to pull yourself together and table this event for at least a certain period of time to be able to get back to your life, to love the people you need to love, to share your life with the people you need to share it, to do the work that you need to do, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, to be able to continue moving forward with your life and the part of your life that is in order. And should it come up during the day that it comes up, you bring it forward in your consciousness and your focus for a couple of moments, and then you push it out of your mind again and continue moving forward life, recognizing that this dialectic is something that exists in your life every day, whether you're aware of it or not. Today is just a day when it's larger and it calls for more attention, but nevertheless, it's the same skill set you need to use to navigate it. Thanks so much for watching this video, and may we only share happy news with each other in the days to come. Thanks and have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you on more of these video blogs in the future.